Watch as Judge Manning carefully considers the emotional testimony and evidence presented to determine the best course of action for the protection and well being of the children and their mother. This episode sheds light on the complexities and emotional toll of post divorce conflicts involving child safety.
All right, so, excuse me, he's logging back on?
Yes, Your Honor. He sent me a screenshot of his computer or screen, and it says that, nonetheless, it just says it's preparing. So it looks like he's in the waiting room.
See, I don't see anybody in the waiting room yet. Do you have the right?
Is it possible it moved to a different, and I'm just asking, the afternoon calendar login should be
No,
out?
I used the same login.
Okay.
You want to send him the Zoom link again?
Yes, he actually sent it to me, but I will doing that right now.
I just sent you the link again, so you'll have it.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being so patient. I'm not sure what happened today, but the gods are playing a nasty trick on me.
Well, you must have made a plan for the afternoon.
I had, but I just had to cancel it.
I don't know that this will take much longer.
All right, there it goes.
Yes, Judge.
Just got to connect with some audio. And I have the exhibits. All right, Mr. Young,
Thank you,
can you
Judge.
take yourself off mute for me? All right, Mr. Young, can you take yourself off mute? If you try to run it through your Bluetooth, it may not connect. Okay. All right, Ms. James. So I see this one and it's marked is this going to be your exhibits, Ms. Counsel, or is it your exhibit?
It's fine that it's Miss James exhibits. Probably
Okay.
call them petitioner one.
All right, so I've got one. Talks about Nana moving back to New Jersey, February 27th.
Oh no, Your Honor, the images I think she was presenting were the images of the rear side of their child, where there is a and I forwarded those to you as well as you requested.
Is that under R2? I see R2.
No, Your Honor, it would have been prior to that when Ms. James had sent images to me. I think Ms. James, you remember what the subject?
There they go. Okay, there they go. I got them. Okay.
Yes, Your
All right,
Honor.
I got them. All right, Ms. James, I'm looking at them and he's looked at them. So tell me about these.
Yes, my son brought it to my attention. He was terrified on Thursday, and he told me about how his dad had paddled him for each day for 4 days, 4 consecutive days, because he had gotten in trouble that Tuesday, and so the defects showed up at my house that night, and both of our sons testified and they actually gave her a statement about how their father has paddled them while he makes the other child watch, and he's been punching them over the years in the stomach, chest, shoulders, back, and head. And they reported that their father drinks a lot and acts out.
Judge, I just want to be cautious in this instance. I know that hearsay has its leniency, and I also am concerned not specifically with the children's statements, but potentially what she's hearing from somebody else. So if I may just ask that she identify where she got the information from, I'll be cautious not to get in the way of testimony.
Sure, that's fine.
You have to let me know who you got that information from, but you
right. The children were being questioned by a defects representative. Her name is
okay, that's who it's coming from. What's your objection?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'd object to hearsay as it relates to anything the defects representative told her.
Okay, so we got listen. Defects representative is not here, so I can't hear what they told you. I can't hear what the children told the defects worker, because that would be double hearsay. So,
well, actually, Your Honor, it's not hearsay, because I was present when they spoke with the representative. So it's not hearsay.
Counsel?
Your Honor, if she's in the room and listening to the conversation of what the children are telling her and are saying, I believe that with the child hearsay exception, she'd be permitted to communicate, especially when there are concerns of any injuries to the children potentially. So again, just making sure we identify where the statements are coming from, and I can limit my objections, and I know the court will weigh the evidence appropriately.
All right. Only if you heard it firsthand.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And also, again,
Don't tell me what the defects worker said, because that is hearsay.
What was that, Your Honor? I didn't hear you.
Don't tell me what the defects worker said, because that's hearsay.
Okay, I understand. And so following that, our son got in trouble again the following Tuesday. Mr. Younger called my phone and he spoke with our son. He told him, "Boy, I'm gonna beat you for 2 weeks. When I finish with you, you're gonna poop," and he didn't use the word poop. He said, "You're gonna poop blood." Mr. Younger then made references that you're gonna pledge Daddy University. I'm going to haze your A. I witnessed this. I did not try to undermine Mr. Younger in the presence of the children, because this can cause problems. I called Mr. Younger and I spoke to him about making these threats. He said to me, "Tina, I'm going to do what's necessary." I then told him, everything does not revolve around your fraternity. And this fraternity that I'm referring to is Omega Psi Phi, which both him and his council are members of. Well, actually, I don't know about Mr. Issa being, Mr. Younger's a somewhat disgraced member of that fraternity, but he still operates under that. And I told him, I said, this is not going to be effective where you're threatening him. And he said, "I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. I'm going to haze him." From there, Austin has been reporting. You said not to say what our children have said to me, or is that considered hearsay, Your Honor?
Don't want to hear what the defects worker said to you.
All right. Okay. So in regards to that, Austin has reported, has told me that he feels as if his dad hates him. His dad has walked past him and said, "Ooh, I want to punch this little N-word." Austin's now terrified of going to his father's house on Thursdays. That's when Mr. Younger and I are to do an exchange. He's now wetting the bed. Austin has never wet the bed. Austin wet the bed on Thursday.
And how old
He
is
said that
how old is he again?
Austin is 9. He
Okay.
turned 9 in December.
Okay.
I'm a bit moved because also I do believe that intimidation is taking place, because now my oldest son reported to me that his dad was right he now believes that his dad was right for paddling Austin, because Austin could have gotten kicked out of school. And when I confronted Mr. Younger about this punching and everything, the threats that he made, he said, "I just wanted to scare him." For that, I do believe Mr. Younger needs to attend some parenting classes and counseling, as he has refused family counseling in the past.
Thank you, Ms. James.
Anything else?
There is an open case due to this, and the case is not closed by defects. So
Okay, hold on. Now, let me ask you a question, okay? Because there's a meaning in something. You say there's an open case in defects. When was this reported in defects?
It was reported by the school as early as March, the week of March 2nd.
Okay. Have you been issued any summons to appear in juvenile court?
No, I have not. The supervisor just recommended that. Oh.
Have they given you a date to show up in juvenile court?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So this picture of your son's. Okay, so tell me, you took these pictures? Tell me about these pictures.
Yes, ma'am. It happened on a Thursday where Austin came in while I was in the bathroom, and he was crying uncontrollably. And I, of course, was trying to comfort him. And I said, well, what's the problem? I said, what's wrong? And he said, I'm scared to go to my dad's house. He said he's going to beat me. He said he's going to beat me for 2 weeks. You heard him. And I said, Austin, I'm steadily trying to calm Austin down. From there, Austin said, well, one time when he felt like I wasn't stacking the wood pallets up right, he punched me in my head. And of course I was horrified. And I asked him, I said, what else is going on? And that's when Austin told me, he said, my dad paddles me. And one time he paddled me so bad that I have a sore on my behind. So I immediately took Austin to the bathroom. And I had him, I had Austin pull down his pants. And he had a sore. And on the right cheek, Austin had a bruise, and it started healing. He on the left cheek, he had a sore, and that's
where it looks like the skin's flaking.
Right.
I don't know if this is flipped because of the picture, so it looks like there's like peeling skin, and then there's a red.
Yeah, that's where the sore
Okay.
is.
Okay.
And so Mr. Young admitted to me that he paddled him, and he started telling me about it's not against the law. And like I told him, it's against the law if you break skin, and you bruised him. And at first, Mr. Younger denied it. Then he admitted that he did it. And of course, that's when he kept saying, it's not against the law. Corporal punishment is not against the law. And that's when I kept stating to him, you don't understand. When you're leaving bruises, you have when we have a child that has a sore on his behind, this is abuse. And I also discussed with him and relayed with him about the threats that he's made. And, he's like, oh, well, I just wanted to scare him. And I asked him, I said, so you think this is proper? This is okay for you to intimidate and scare a 9-year-old, that you're going to scare him into acting right? And he didn't have anything else to say.
But your son said that's where those marks came from.
Yes, ma'am.
Was it from a paddle? I know like some fraternities and sororities have paddles.
Yes, that's the paddle. Yep, that's
the paddle. What it's called, right?
Sorry, I don't know what just happened, but I noticed my client is
just lost.
It just happened. Oh, there he is. It should be coming.
Okay, hold on. He connects to audio.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can hear you a little bit, Mr. Younger, but your video is off, and it definitely doesn't sound like you have a good connection.
Yeah, it had went off and I had to come back in. Can you hear me now?
Yes, but we can't see you. I know you're outside
I have
of
it
the
on.
house.
I can see myself on the screen.
We can't see you. Turn your camera on.
I have it on. I can see
No, you
myself.
don't.
All right, well,
I don't care if you can see.
On the last one. We're on the last one.
No, right.
Is that better? Can you see me?
No, we can't see you.
Can you see me?
Interesting.
No, we cannot see you.
On my side, it shows him muted. How is he?
I know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how. Can't see you, Mr. Younger. It also shows this video.
It sounds like the children are
Okay,
present.
I'm gonna
Mr. Younger, are those kids there?
no, I'm sitting in my van. I'm sitting in my van. My oldest just walked up to me. I saw him open up the door. He asked me for something to eat. But they're back in the house. I'm sitting in the van.
Fix your phone. All right, Mr. James.
I wish you could see me.
I wish I.
It's almost there.
Mr. Younger, fix it. Fix your camera, fix all that.
There we
Everything seems to be fine here. Can you see me or hear me now? Okay.
See you now. So
All right.
Miss James, so is this one of the, what they call the pledge paddle, one of the paddles that fraternities and stuff like that get where they whack each other with? Miss James?
As far as I know, I have no affiliation with the Greek sorority.
Well, I don't either. I was able to get my own friends, but I'm not.
I just know of, Mr. Younger's passion for this fraternity, and he lives.
Right. And I have friends of mine who are members of that fraternity, some great Morehouse men, and all kinds of stuff. I'm not knocking fraternities, but I just want to get this. He said it was from that paddle, right? Because I've seen those and I know what those are. So he said it was that.
Right.
How often does he say that he gets hit with that?
They both said at various times. It just depends on the offense. A lot of times they may just get a punch instead of the paddle.
And when they say punch, they mean with a fist?
No, with his fist. And Mr. Younger has admitted to me he's done a light punch. And I even had the conversation with Mr. Younger. You're a grown man. How can you even judge your strength? You're a grown man. And how can you gauge if you're doing a light punch? Why are you choosing to punch a child, a minor?
Anything else you want to tell me?
Like I said, I truly believe that Mr. Younger doesn't find anything wrong with his behavior. I do believe, I once believed in his rehabilitation. As I stated, he does have past violent tendencies. Yes, there have been a few incidents in which I've witnessed, especially his excessive alcoholism, in which both of the children have reported to me about that as well. And even before, when he assured me that he was done with the violent stuff, with the dog fighting, he was
Objection, Judge. We're getting into some irrelevant attempts to attack his character.
Yeah, I don't need to hear about that. All right, you have any questions for our counsel?
I do, Judge, and it would just be specific to the two exhibits that I sent to the court.
Okay.
Ms. James.
Go ahead.
I do, Judge. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Ms. James, you communicate with Mr. Younger via an app for your family. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, and that's Our Family. What is it called again?
You're not familiar with Our Family Wizard?
No, he's asking.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I was asking you a question.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, and on the 27th, you had communicated with Mr. Younger. In February 27th, you communicated with Mr. Younger on Our Family Wizard. Is that right?
I'm not familiar. I can pull up the app if I need to.
Okay, yeah, if you need to, please do.
Okay.
But in that communication, he'd asked for some time to spend with the children to go see Nana. That would probably be someone in the family who was leaving back to New Jersey, right?
Yes, his grandmother.
Okay, and you didn't have any objection to him going at that time. You only asked if he could exchange visitation times with you. Is that right?
Repeat your question.
You didn't have an objection to him spending time with the children. Your response included an exchange of times to visit with the children, right?
Right. I have never tried to keep the children from Mr. Younger.
Yes, thank you. Well, part of this TPO may be reflecting on that, but nonetheless, and today I think you permitted via communication with myself as well, just while these hearings were going on, for Mr. Younger to go pick up the children. Is that right?
Right. I've communicated with him through the app each day, even though he doesn't respond, but I do communicate via the app.
Okay, and I appreciate that. Judge, I'm going to submit those two exhibits. I think I can share my screen to present them, but those screenshots that you have, sorry, Judge.
You want to do that so that she can see what you're talking about?
Yeah, just those screenshots that you have, I would like to make sure that
I've got marked R1 and R2. You can share your screen.
Yes,
so
John.
see if you'd like.
I'm going my best to try and do that right now. All right. Ms. James, I'm presuming you can see this. Will you let me know if you can?
Right.
Okay. Just making sure, because he went to pick up the children today, and I wanted to make sure that was permitted based on this communication. This would be R2. Is that accurate?
No, that is not accurate, because if we're operating under the divorce decree, this is during Mr. Younger's time, or am I wrong?
Well, you completed the TPO, this restraining order that you requested Mr. Younger to stay away from the two children. You've testified today that Mr. Younger's presence with the two children would be against your will, at least at this point in time. And I just wanted to be clear that this communication occurred during these hearings where you permitted Mr. Younger to go pick up the children. Is that fair?
No, that's not fair. No, that is not fair. As I stated,
well, I will.
No.
Let him ask a specific question.
Yes,
right, that's not fair. No.
Yes, ma'am. Does this communication accurately reflect our discussion while the hearings were going on?
Yes.
Okay. Does this sorry, can you see the separate document in front of you now?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And does this communication accurately reflect the communication from February 27th between yourself and Mr. Younger on Our Family Wizard?
That yes, that is before the findings of the abuse. Yes, that is correct, sir.
All right. I don't have any.
Judge, excuse me, Judge. As I was told, I am to operate under the divorce decree. The divorce decree is when this time right now is when Mr. Younger's allowed that. I was advised by my legal counsel that if I violated that, Mr. Younger is within every right to have me arrested for kidnapping. I am not at will to break the law.
Go ahead with your next question, counsel.
I'm done asking questions, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else you want to say, Ms. James?
That's it, Your Honor.
All right. You want to call your client, sir?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Younger, you sworn under oath here. I'd like to ask you some questions, please. There were some suggestions that you have committed quite a few violent acts towards your two children. I'd like to start by asking you very clearly and plainly, did you paddle your child?
I have paddled my youngest child, yes, but never my oldest. I did paddle my youngest child.
And what was that in response to?
Okay. My youngest child has been getting in really big trouble at school. He has been playing in the bathroom where he has been showing his buttocks, where he has been making buttocks and penis jokes. He He did that this past summer. This past summer was the first time I had ever put a belt on either one of my children, and it was to the youngest because of this conduct. He did it again in
Mr. Younger, you're gonna have to
February,
be.
talking in the back.
Can you be detailed about the conduct, please? The court is going to make a decision at the end of this.
Okay. Yes. Okay, I apologize. He's displaying really bad behavior. I don't want to say deviant, but a 9-year-old child should not be in the bathroom talking about don't drop the soap, trying to show his behind. And I also would like to speak to the threats that I made. Those threats came after.
No, one thing at a time. Your attorney, you're paying him. He's doing it. Let him do his job.
I apologize.
Okay. It's okay.
I've never done it before.
All
okay,
right,
but back
Mr.
to
Young.
he's getting this sex stuff from somewhere. It has come to light. I think I kind of sort of have an idea of where. Don't really want to, can't say it. I'm sure that's going to be considered hearsay, but I'm trying to talk to the school about getting, having them tested. I reached out to some counselors, 4 different ones. I have the names here. If you'd like to read them off. So, I'm really trying to work and try to find out what's the best thing for our child. But this display of sexual, and for lack of a better word, deviance, is a problem, and it's scary to me. I'm trying to get a handle on this. Again, I don't beat my kids. When I was spanking my oldest, it was only with the hand. He never got a belt. He never got a paddle. This youngest one, he got a belt this one time this past, and he got the paddle that weekend that he did what he did then. But this is a father trying to be in his kid's life. I have my kids 4 days a week, from Thursday at 6 p.m. to Monday mornings. This is not habitual. This is not anything that I make a habit of. This was me trying to correct some behavior. Since then, I've learned about some different counseling, avenues that I could go after, and that is what I've been working diligently trying to get, some information so I can get my son some help. And I keep looking to the side because I was trying to find this one pamphlet that I had gotten from the school, because I was looking at Chris 180, but I found out later, I think it's Family Ties. Family Ties is the one that supports Renaissance Elementary School. But my son has been showing some really inappropriate behavior that has to be dealt with. Like I said, I've talked to some counselors. I've got a little bit more understanding about what's going on with them, and I really want to get some help. And if I could, okay, sorry.
Yep. Before you,
Excuse me.
Oh, Ms. James, you can ask questions in just a second.
Okay.
Mr. Younger, there was a mention that you punch your children. Do you punch your children?
Nah, not in a violent way. We horseplay, we drop the bees on each other. We're boys, we play rough, but as far as punching them because, they done did something, nah, ain't nobody doing all of that.
All right. Did you also endure a defects investigation of your home?
I did. The lady called me, I think it was on a Friday. She came to my house Sunday.
Okay. Were you interviewed? Don't say anything about the interview. I want to ask, were you interviewed?
Yes.
Okay. And are you aware of any decisions that would prevent you from having visitation with your children by defects?
No, sir, I'm not aware.
Okay. Are you in, or is there current litigation pending between yourself and Ms. James as it relates to custody issues or anything like that? I know that you mentioned you have 4 days a week with them.
Yes, sir. We were just in court, just to give you a little background. We were in court this past October because
I don't want background.
Okay,
Mr. Younger,
so
just answer the questions. Is there any outstanding litigation still going on between yourself and Ms. James?
Yes, sir. We have a contempt of court hearing on April the 13th at 11:30 because she withheld my children from me on December 29th, which is the Thursday and his birthday.
Okay. There was mention of you being or using alcohol in an excessive way in your home around the children. Have you ever been under the influence of alcohol around your children?
Absolutely not. And I haven't even had anything to drink. Well, let me be real clear. In the last 3 years, I may have had 5, 6 shots of liquor, and the whole total, maybe a couple of cases of beer. I haven't had anything to drink this year. I didn't have I don't think I had much of anything last year. My ex-wife knows that we've been knowing each other for a long time. She knows I stopped drinking for over 20 years. I did start back drinking, but I've stopped again. I'm not an alcoholic, and I don't drink excessively, and I don't drink around my kids.
Your Honor.
Right.
Hold on a
Your
second.
Honor. May I ask Mr. Younger a few
No,
questions?
as soon as he's finished with his direct of his client.
Okay.
Ask questions.
There was mention of communication that you had in the presence of Ms. James to your children, and she said that you were trying to scare them. Did you have that communication with your kids?
Yes, well, as far as what I was going to do to him because he had gotten back in trouble, yeah, it was me trying to scare some life into him. It's really difficult parenting, these boys when I don't have them, and I really can't talk to them as often because a lot of the issues that they have happen while they're in school. And so because she picks them up Monday through Thursday, it's really hard because by the time I get them on Thursday, the issue has already been dealt with. I may have had a chance to talk to him, but it's just difficult. I hope I answered your question. I don't know if I did.
You did. I don't have any more questions on direct.
All right, let me ask a couple of questions. What are you talking about dropping the B? What is that?
Like wrestlers, do like a little elbow. Oh, we roughhouse. We're boys, but it ain't no violent, type of, situation. I'll be walking through the house, they'll, jump on me, and stuff like that. We're boys. We play like boys.
So did you hit him with the paddle or not?
Yes, ma'am. I did paddle him. I admit that I did paddle him.
Did it do that to his bum and leave those marks on his bum?
Well, because he's dressed, I did not know. Had I had any idea that there was marks being left, I would. I know how many times I hit him because I was counting, and I was trying to make sure that I didn't do any type of real damage. This paddle is about the part of the paddle that hits your behind is a little bit bigger than the cell phone. I actually showed it to the defects lady.
Is it your paddle from your fraternity?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Right, let me ask you a question. What is it that you think your 9-year-old son is doing that is deviant behavior?
Where he is pulling down his pants, talking about his behind, talking about other behinds. He got caught passing a note to a little girl asking for sex, and also in it saying that if she said no, that he was going to beat her up. These are serious issues in my book that need to be dealt with. That is why I reached out to these counselors trying to figure out how we can get him the help that he needs, because this is troubling for me. If I was a father of a daughter and my little girl came home telling me that some little boy had done that, I'd be really upset.
So did you ask him about sending the note to her?
Yes, he admitted to everything.
Okay.
Yeah, my children and I have a really good relationship.
Why did he tell her he was going to beat her up if she said no?
I'm sorry, ask the question again.
What did you say? Well, you said you were going to beat her up if she said no. Did you ask him that?
Well, no, I did not ask him that.
You didn't want to know why that was his response?
Well, I was asking him, why would he do that? Why would he send a note in general? What is, what does he know about sex? Where is he getting this? Those were the questions I was asking.
And what did he say? What he knew about sex? Where did he get it? What did he know
He
about
didn't really, shrugging his shoulders. I don't really know. I see stuff on YouTube sometime, but I didn't get a real good, clear answer from him.
All right, I might have a couple more. Miss James, what specific questions? Don't argue with him. What specific questions?
No, back to what Mr. Younger stated, that he's currently looking for counseling. Mr. Younger, are you aware that I had our children in counseling over a year ago?
I am.
And did you
I
call
never
that
got any information about it. I requested information and never got anything.
Mr. Younger, so when you call the office, didn't the office manager offer family counseling to you?
Nope, that's hearsay. Can we stick to something recent?
Okay, well, you're right, Your Honor. And back to what Mr. Issa brought up about a current case that he allowed Mr. Younger to speak on. Now, Mr. Younger, didn't you communicate with me in that app on the 21st? You referenced the parenting app, not parenting app, a parenting plan, right?
Are you asking?
What are you talking about?
I'm asking Mr. Younger on referencing this parenting app that he questioned me about, and he referenced the parenting plan. And
ask a specific question.
And so with that parenting plan, Mr. Younger was fully aware of the visitation days. So I want to notate right now, Mr. Younger has retained an attorney, but he didn't use an attorney when he filed this fraudulent case that's upcoming in April.
What case is upcoming in April?
Judge, I'm going to object to relevance.
About contempt of court. He said that I did not allow him to see the children.
There's just, I got you.
Yeah.
Is there a guardian in that case?
No, ma'am. This is the second case filed. There was a guardian ad litem in the previous case that Mr. Younger that he petitioned for, and he dropped the case.
Okay, what judge is this case in front of?
Judge Kelly Ellerby. That was in October, and he dropped the.
Is in front of Ellerby again, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mm-hmm. When is your court date?
April 13th.
You got another question, a specific question for him?
I don't have any more. Just regarding the counseling, Mr. Younger, have you opposed counseling for our children in the past? Did you not speak and write to me that you didn't feel that they needed counseling?
I did. That was years ago.
Okay, last year, right? You're under oath, Mr. Younger.
I don't remember when it was.
Okay.
All right.
And Judge, I have been able, fortunately, to find them another counselor. So I'm hoping that this time that the counseling will be successful. I do believe in therapy. I've been seeing a therapist.
What are we putting these kids in? What are we putting them in counseling for? Because he pulls his pants down?
No, there have been different actions from Austin, just as Mr. Younger stated. Austin has been getting in trouble, and before that, both of our children have been getting in trouble. And I've tried to communicate with them, and I understand that sometimes maybe they feel like they'll be judged. They're pretty much open with me, but I honestly, Judge, I'm just an advocate for mental health. I do believe sometimes it's just best to speak with the, to speak with a third party where you won't feel that you're being judged and it'll be held against you.
I'm trying to figure out really what the.
Judge, can I say something, please?
No.
No.
Do you have any other questions, Ms. James?
No.
All right, counsel, do you have any more questions?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can I say something, please?
No.
Lawyer, would you say something?
Okay.
What is it you're asking for, Ms. James?
I'm asking for, again, parenting and counseling and an evaluation for Mr. Younger and supervised visits.
So y'all had a guardian before and then it was dropped.
Mr. Younger dropped the case. Yes, ma'am.
So when do you go back now?
We go back April 13th because Mr. Younger has filed another case for contempt of court. And of course,
Did y'all ever pay this guardian?
Ma'am?
Did y'all pay the guardian that you had?
Oh, yes, we both paid, and the guardian asked for an extension, and my legal team asked for an extension, but Mr. Younger team, they dropped the case and just made it a child support modification case.
So now it's just a child support modification case?
No, that's what was done in October. Mr. Younger filed another case in January about, and under frivolous terms, about being in contempt of court, me being in contempt and not allowing him to visit with the children.
Who didn't pay the previous guardian?
We both paid.
Mr. Younger, did you pay?
Yes, ma'am. We actually got our money back because my counsel at the time
I said, did you
said
pay?
that I wasn't going to get.
Did you pay?
Yes. Yes.
Was it Aisha Collard Blanchard? Collins Blanchard?
Yes.
Blanchard Collins. All right, hold on a second.
Phew. I thought he just got disconnected again. Sorry.
And he turned his camera off again.
I'm back.
Do you both have lawyers in the other case?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am. I do not have an attorney for the
Wait a minute.
contempt.
I thought, are you talking about the upcoming case or the previous case?
The upcoming case.
No, the upcoming case. No, I have more than enough proof that will show that Mr. Younger was well aware when he filed this frivolous case. It will be dismissed immediately.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I'm pretty confident, Judge, but I may be
I
wrong.
know, but Judge Elby is pretty damn.
Right, and hopefully she will see that, that the terms in which this was done and the evidence that'll be presented to her.
So there's been a response, and have y'all even tried to go to ADR because y'all were supposed to try to mediate before?
For this upcoming case? I didn't see anything. I wasn't notified about a mediation.
I think that's part of what what they're going to do in April.
Yeah, we have that will be a status meeting.
I got it. I'm pretty familiar. All right, last words. Go ahead.
Ms. James.
Oh, that's it, Judge. I have no further statements or anything.
All right, go ahead and give closing.
Judge, just briefly, relying on the actions of the parties, there's been no emergency intervention. The TPO was filed, but it seems as if visitation continues as expected, communication continues as expected. We all have to be at the best interest of the children. They have open issues as it relates to their custody, visitation, and apparently even a contempt matter open, wherein these issues should be outlined and using this court for the intentions of implementing counseling and care and now supervised visitation, despite the children being with him now unsupervised. I think there may be the need for counseling between the parents as well, as they have a disagreement in how the children should be disciplined. But it does seem as if both parents agree that the child has some disciplinary issues that need to be addressed. As an outsider, it's very difficult to come in and be asked to make a decision. I don't envy your job at all, Judge Manning. But having said that, I look at what the parents have been doing and what they are doing, and seeing that the children are currently with Mr. Younger, and he's looking at other ways to discipline his child as it relates to whatever disciplinary measures are needed. I also don't believe that the court needs to insert itself in this type of claim nonetheless, or this type of matter nonetheless. We're here, and I understand a mom's concern, and I understand a dad's concern in trying to raise their child the best way they know how.
Ms. James, go ahead.
Judge, is it possible that we could get a guardian ad litem?
Oh, well, yeah, I'm putting a guardian in play.
I would love that.
But I want to know what's going on with defects. Have they?
Right. Because there was such major discrepancy.
I just want to know what's going on. Have they been?
Oh, okay. Okay. I was going to say, yeah. That's why the case is still open.
Do y'all have a safety plan?
No, Judge. That unfortunately, and I say that word carefully, the person who came out to do the investigation came to a conclusion completely contradictory to what is being represented today. And so if I'm not mistaken, Ms. James has indicated to me that a supervisor has gotten involved and they've kept it open as a result of that. So there are a lot of discrepancies in what has been concluded. And I think DFACS has essentially said there's no concern, there's no issue, but Ms. James and maybe a supervisor are deciding to continue looking.
Counselor Issa, I do believe that you're misquoting me. That's not what was stated. Okay,
let me ask you a question. What is your fear right now if these children are with him?
That there will be intimidation and retaliation, mind games.
Not physical, mind games.
Well, right now, there's not going to be anything physical because all eyes are on Mr. Younger. So at this time, I'm not sure if he's going to do anything physical. I honestly, only Mr. Younger can answer that. Please excuse me, my computer's about to die. Got it.
All right, you can plug it up.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go into a breakout. I'm not breakout, right? I'll be right back.
Judge, I'm sure you know we can't hear you.
There you go. The picture of this kid's bottom really, I don't understand how that happened. I don't understand. And because that's, I mean, trust me. And I don't know how old Mr. Robinson, maybe just grade early. I just grade early, but anyway, I got the tar beat out of me by anything they could grab. But I don't see how a paddle never did that to me. And I'm trying to figure that out. And Mr. Younger, I'm glad if you think something's going on, you're trying to get these kids, your son into some sort of counseling, fantastic. Like I said, at my house, shoot, if you need it for mental health, medicate, go see somebody, talk to somebody, do what you got to do. I'm all for it. But this, it has me bothered because These kids are what are most important to me. Amber, you can check your email. Thanks. So this is what concerns me. And I don't want to keep these children from you, but I think Miss Blanchard Collins was your guardian before, and I have her. I have her on here. So who's there at your house with you, Mr. Younger?
You're on mute.
Just me and my boys.
Did he have his pants pulled up?
Well,
Or his pants pulled up? Trust me. I mean, you know, I've had, you know, from the South, hickories. Go pick your own hickory. You know, and you thought if you picked one that was flimsy, it wouldn't hurt so bad, but you were wrong because it would wrap around your leg. And then,
I call those a switch.
right, you know, and they want you to go pick it. And then, you know, a belt with little rivets on it because I think it, you know, it didn't get the wind resistance. So trust me, I have had, you know, welts and stuff like that. But this, I don't understand how this happened. You know, and times have changed today. Good, bad, and different. But you know, I mean, I could say something to the table like, pass me a biscuit. And I've had my grandmother pick it up and toss it at me. She said, you don't pass anything. That's not the word you say at the table. You say, so she did. She passed it. But, you know, anyway, I'm concerned. Where'd he go now? He left again. Holy cow, this is the end of the day. I'm going to put Mr. Younger, turn your camera back on. I'm going to put Ms. Blanchard Collins back in place as the guardian and let her get back to me. Mr. Younger?
yes. I'm going in and out, so I didn't hear a lot of what you said.
Yeah, you got to turn your camera back on. I know you don't.
Yeah, it's back on. Everything is back on.
No, it's not.
We can't see you, Mark.
It's on my. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna try to turn it off and turn it back on as far as the video.
Okay.
Now?
No.
No, not yet. Ms. James, 7 and 9, am I right?
There you are.
7.
What was that, Your Honor? I didn't hear you.
They're 7 and 9, right?
Yeah, they're 9 and 10. The 10-year-old will be 11 April 4th.
Okay, 7 and 9. I wrote that on the wrong case. All right.
Your Honor, can I say something, please?
Well, she'd asked you a question before you got disconnected. The question was, were his pants up or down when this was happening?
Up. His pants were up. Did you hear me?
Yes,
On all
we heard
4
you.
days.
Hello?
So
We heard
pants
you,
were up
Mr.
when you hit him with a paddle.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
His pants were up when you hit him with a paddle.
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, I do admit to hitting him with the paddle. I don't have any idea how those marks got there either, because I did not hit him that many times. It was not that hard. It's a small paddle, and I'm not trying to hurt my child. I'm really trying to correct the behavior. I'm really fighting with myself trying to, you know, figure this out. I am trying to do the best I can to raise both of these boys. And like I said, there is no history of abuse. There's none. I've never paddled or used the belt on my oldest.
All right. You know, I'm going to err on the side of caution. I'm going to get Ms. Collins to get in this. Y'all are both going to pay her. Y'all going to split it down the middle. Your weekend's supposed to be this weekend, Mr. Younger?
Say again?
Your weekend
Yes,
is
Judge.
supposed to be this weekend.
Yes.
4 days, right?
Actually, I have them 3 weekends of the month.
He
Okay.
normally picks the children up on Thursdays at 8 p.m. because I have them in sports. Mark, the second.
Let me see this. I want, right now, we're gonna reset this out 30 days. And we're gonna do it until Miss Blanchard Collins can give me a report. And I won't make y'all wait. We'll try to get y'all on a special set date or something, or like on a Monday, so that y'all don't have to wait behind anyone else. And Amber, I think you got that email on dates where people are gonna be filling in for me, so obviously don't make it those dates. It'll be on the Monday so that y'all won't have to wait like you did so basically day. But I want, you can have Zoom visits. I don't mind if you have like a nighttime dinner right now.
Say that again, ma'am. So you're taking, say again?
Hold on. So I want to know what's so funny, Ms. James.
No, when you said it was, we don't want to do a dinner visits.
I said, I want to do a dinner visit.
Oh, you want to do a dinner visit? Okay.
Yeah. So that he can see I'm not be in a public place.
Okay.
She's laughing because it sounds like she's getting away. That's what that is.
Nobody's
She
getting
knows
away.
I'm not a bad father.
The kids are what's losing out all this. So this isn't even about y'all.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
about these children. Ms. Free will give us 30 days, and we can make it on those, so you won't have to wait all day or anything like that. And if you're in Ms. Blanchard Collins, also be in the other case, you'll have to pay her. Cars don't run if it don't have gas. She's going to interview those kids, but we'll be back in 30 days. So we'll have Zoom visits, Ms. Free, where both of them,
Can I run you a date real quick? Can we do the 17th? You are covering that day, April 17th.
Is that good for you, counsel?
Yeah, Judge, somebody will have to fill in for me on that date, but nonetheless, let's not put it off any further. 17th will be good. I have other attorneys in my office I can help.
Okay, so Zoom visits, both parties can record it. If y'all are communicating through our family wizards, and keep doing that and make sure the guardian has access to that. So it can be, yep, that's where you can put this. How about, how often do you usually speak with your children, Mr. Younger, if you don't have them with you?
Say that again?
How often do you speak with them on the phone if you don't have them with you?
It depends on what's going on in their life. You know, what's going on. Maybe once a week, sometimes twice a week. It really depends on what's going on.
All right. How about you talk to them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Like 7 p.m. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Both parties can record it. When somebody says something they're not supposed to, Ms. Blanchard Collins is going to come back and tell me. And if there's something ahead of time before that 30 days that she finds out, because one thing I want you to do is make these kids available, then obviously we can get you back ahead of time, Mr. Easton, and we can say, hey, we're going to change it, and regular visitation goes back into place.
So right now I'm losing visitation. All I get is phone calls.
Stand by.
I'm just trying to be clear.
Let's see. And then what night could you take them to dinner? Like a Wednesday night?
Last year, last 3 years, I've been doing everything without my feet.
Like a Wednesday night, could you take them to dinner in a public place?
I think his visitation began on Thursdays anyway, Your Honor. If we're throwing a day out, may it be a day that he had normally had visitation anyway, and that way it won't disrupt what the families already have scheduled.
Okay, so like a Thursday
Oh, he
night
got
dinner?
sporting events. They got sporting events. They got sporting events. They got practice and stuff like that that's keeping me from seeing him as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I can tell him, I can tell you right now, Judge, Mark, Wednesdays
If he already has Thursday, why can't he do a Thursday night dinner?
Well, he can do a Thursday night. Mark's the second usually has soccer practice, but I can speak with the coach and just let him know what's going on.
Okay, and here's the thing. If there's a soccer practice, he can go and watch.
I've always let him know, and Mr. Younger has always had that freedom, but he's never taken advantage of it. But I don't have a problem with him going with that.
Okay, Mr. Younger, do you use it? Okay, you know what? No, we're just trying to make this all way too complicated. Those Zoom visits and a Thursday night dinner. What time do you want dinner? What time for dinner with the kids? Mr. Younger, what time?
I don't know, man. Give me a second to think. I'm caught off guard by all this. Thursday.
What time do y'all eat dinner?
I usually I pick the boys up from school, and I normally serve them dinner around. They do a snack, and they usually eat dinner about 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Ma'am, I typically work till 5 o'clock on Thursdays. Could we say 7 o'clock?
I don't have a problem with that. I can just let his coach know.
Is that
or ask him right here, Mr. Younger, do you want to attend soccer practice?
Yes.
Okay, soccer practice starts at 6:25. Okay, so how about this, Mr. Younger? How about you get there, take something, take a pizza, and you can sit there and have it after their soccer practice with them or before.
And how long is this going to go on, Your Honor?
This is going to go on until Miss Blanchard until y'all get back in front of me, or Miss Blanchard Collins calls me and tells me to get y'all back on. She's going to talk to these children because I want to know. No, we didn't show the pictures of this kid's buttocks because there's some sick people out there that would make it into child porn.
Okay.
But I've seen the pictures and they concern me.
Yes, ma'am.
Trust me, I am not anti-corporal punishment. That's fine. I mean, good enough for me. But sometimes there's a line to be crossed. And I'm trying to see if this is a line to be crossed, if somebody's being too alarmist or if somebody needs something. Keep the kids in counseling, please. But these children, it's not going to hurt. That's why you're going to have the Zoom visits. I'm not keeping you total away from them. Thursday at soccer practice, go take a pizza, take hamburgers, take whatever. Have dinner.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh,
Judge, I'm going to continue to communicate with Mr. Younger and interpret what you've said. I understand the court's order. I know it'll be reduced to writing. Finally ending this thing. We have a hearing in almost a month. Between now and then, they've got to get the guardian involved so that she can either report back to you or suggest an earlier date before the 17th for the party to report back.
And I think they already have her contact info, right?
I do. I still have it.
You still have it, Mr. Younger?
I don't know, ma'am. I have to look for it.
Okay,
I'll find it, Judge.
I'll forward her all the pleadings. Yeah, I'll forward her all the pleadings. So y'all reach out to her, get her paid. We'll see y'all back then. And anytime, Ms. Rice, anytime. She can always, all lawyers, I mean, if they know the truth, they know they can call me and Ms. Free will tell you. I'll get on a Zoom with lawyers.
I lost the signal again, it looks like.
And so right now, Judge, me and Mr. Younger, so how will we exchange the children?
It looks like you need to go get these kids right now.
Well, we usually meet at the Fairburn Police Department, so I need for you to tell him what
Fairburn
time.
Police Department, you know where you are?
Yes,
you know
ma'am.
Where he is. What time?
5:30 works for me.
You be there in an hour, Mr. Younger, with the children.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, y'all do it. This ain't gonna be forever because we're gonna figure this out. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, I emailed. Thank you.